I'm going to analyze both its brilliantly elegant design and how I've come to think of it as a perfect allegory to life. So most anyone watching this knows the basics of the design of Tetris, but let's briefly summarize. Blocks fall from the top of the screen to the bottom. Players try to fit pieces together, moving and rotating blocks. And players clear the lines as they're completely filled horizontally. The moving and fitting of pieces is like the toy of Tetris. It's the main thing you play before you even consider things like rules and scores and such. It's like running and jumping in Mario or swinging your sword in Zelda. These things are just satisfying to do irrespective of the game rules, and the same is true for Tetris. It's an organically satisfying thing to do, fitting pieces together and creating order from the constant chaos. Let's look at another aspect of it: choice. Game designer Sid Meier is often credited as saying games are a series of interesting choices. This is where Tetris shines as a unique game above all others, because not only does Tetris provide you this series of interesting choices, it does it in the purest and seemingly unintentional way. So, what do I mean by that? I'm going to go back to that Super Mario Brothers moment I mentioned earlier. This moment is designed with the choice that would define, I'd say, the rest of the game and even largely the series. I could either explore and collect this one-up mushroom and then try to navigate the rest of the challenge in this level, or I could take this shortcut, collect coins in this cool underground world, skip the rest of the level, but forego the one-up. It's a trade-off. It's brilliant early game design, but it's obviously constructed by a game designer. What is so unique about Tetris, however, is how organic player choice is. So the game has its world, its physics, a very simple algorithm for giving pieces, just random in the NES game, and a basic rule for game over, filling over the top. From there, you just choose how you're going to attempt to construct your board. There are no discrete choices which are deliberately constructed to determine if your strategy is good or bad. It's just inherent in the design itself. If you make a mistake, no design takes a point away, doesn't tell you you made a bad move, nor does it tell you you made a good move. Creating a hole in your stack, like this one here, is not a good move, but it's not explicitly told to you. It's just inherent in the design's simple logic and world rules. The lack of having a puppeteer of sorts arbitrarily dictating good or bad creates one of the most elegant and seamless design experiences of any game. That's where this game begins to shape as a perfect life allegory. When you make a mistake, it's your mistake. You're trying to arrange the board in the way you find desirable, and if you fail to do so, you have no designer to blame. There's no unexpected, unfair coconut coming at you like in Sonic 2. And it's perfectly balanced. If you keep a clean board, you can continue to maintain the rewards of it. If you make a mistake, then it's up to you to clean it up. The degree at which you must clean it up is directly proportional to the degree of the mistake you made, or mistakes that have piled up. So, like in life, if you fail to address the issues, the problem will continue to pile up. Now, one might think that's not quite right. You can get unlucky. You may get a series of annoying S pieces in a row, to which I'd say, exactly. The best Tetris players in the world know that they cannot control what comes at them. But what they can do is prepare the board for all possibilities. It's something that Jonas Neubauer, rest in peace, was excellent at and allowed him to win 7 Tetris championships, maintaining a board and constantly evolving his strategy to account for anything that might come his way. Similarly, in life, there are many things we can't control. We may get a string of allegorical S pieces when we are desperate for an allegorical I piece.
Gonna do a little bit of burning. Now where's that long bar? He needs a long bar. It's not showing up. Yep, so just go for the bird. He doesn't have a Tetris setup as a result, though. It's just a triple on the side. so he can't go for that long bar off to the side. Had to take a couple of triples, but he is set up for the Tetris, and boom!
So the best way to handle these unforeseen events coming at us is to build and maintain the best foundation possible for the things that may come our way. In other words, be prepared for the unlucky moments, but also be prepared to take advantage when that fortune comes your way. So in Tetris terms, it's up to you to not be too piece dependent.
He needs that J piece. Where's the J piece? No, he's not going to wait for it. So he's just going to go ahead and do some burning here.
This segues to a constant choice the player must make throughout the game, the choice between risk versus reward. Going back to the Mario example, it's one of the fundamental aspects of this choice that I found so profound as a kid. Going down the pipe guaranteed me the ability to get to the very end of the level with no risk whatsoever. What I sacrificed was an extra life. Moments like these appear throughout that series, and especially in the first and third games. This is done through brilliant level design, but in Tetris, it's done organically through one simple yet intuitive rule. Clearing single lines gives the player substantially less points than clearing a 4-line Tetris. So as a player, you can play it safe, maintaining your survival, and in this way, you'll never receive a top score, but you're far more likely to just, stay in the game. The top players, however, attempt to score a Tetris almost exclusively and at the highest speeds. As with life, no risk, no reward.
Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth, but you gotta be willing to take the hits.
This is a constant balance, like short-term versus long-term planning. The mistakes you make at this level of play become far more pronounced when you're playing riskier because your mistakes are more likely to come at the edge of defeat. Furthermore, at least with classic Tetris, there isn't a guarantee that you'll receive what it is you need to cash in on a piece in time to remain alive. So, one of the great things about watching the classic Tetris championships is the constant tension of players waiting to take advantage of getting that eyepiece needed to cash in on the Tetris, earning them huge points and alleviating some of the pressure on their board. As with life, the most experienced players have earned enough skill to take these risks more, and also as with life, because there are no guarantees, even the most experienced player must decide when to bail out of their risky strategy and sacrifice some points just for survival. Knowing when is always tricky for even the most skilled people.
Okay. Hang on a second.
Building a spire, getting high.
That's gonna burn.
Okay.
He needs an eyepiece now.
Is
or at least something
solvable.
that can drop over there. Okay, staying alive. Where's the long bar? Where's the long bar? Yep, not gonna risk it. He's gonna open up. Perfect. There he goes, a triple, and he's gonna stay alive here.
Yep, everything is fine.
So, I imagine this is almost like a person trying to build a business. It can take a lot of risk to try to, go after it all. But, sometimes when the funds start running low, you may have, put less effort into the business and focus on digging yourself out of a hole. And I'm sure there are plenty of examples like that, that risk-reward ratio. In Tetris, that's literally called a dig, clearing lines and fixing issues to give yourself some breathing room and a cleaner board. All of this, the constant strategizing, choice-making, balancing risk-reward, planning, prepping, constructing, deconstructing, managing the tension between the chaos and creating order from it, the success and fail penalties being so directly proportional to your choices and execution, and it's just all done so organically with simple world design that for me this makes it the most timeless, elegant, yet deep game I have ever experienced. So thank you to the great Alexei Pajitnov for delivering us your wonderful gift. So finally, as I mentioned, Tetris has kind of been a white whale of design for me. Made a bunch of prototypes throughout the years that I hope to sort of mimic a lot of those things I discussed and maybe then some. And I think I finally got something really, really close with this game Joltzsi that I've been making that people are really, really enjoying. So if you're interested in learning more about that game or maybe giving it a try, please follow me maybe even whitelist the game, ask me about it. I'm really excited to deliver, hopefully, my gift in abstract puzzle games to the world. Thanks for checking this out. Be well.